Hello guys, Fred here from Pro Tennis Trader. I hope you're well. So pre-match research is essential if you want to become a professional tennis trader, or even if you want to make a little bit of a side income. Now, analysis into the actual player's performance is of course essential, of which I've published quite a few videos and I'll be uploading a new updated one soon. However, there are a few additional factors to consider when choosing which match to trade and whether it has decent trading potential. So in this video, I'll be running through these factors to take into account before you jump into a trading match that you might have picked out. So first off, look at what's at stake. Is it a Grand Slam, ATP 250, Challenger, or Exhibition? Now, players do behave quite differently depending on the importance of the actual competition, and a lot of this comes down to their motivation level. So are both players motivated in the tournament at the match that you've picked out? So have a look at the prize money, ranking points available, or perhaps there are a couple of personal rivalries in this tournament. So how motivated are the players? Secondly, the surface and conditions. So obviously you've got clay, grass and hard courts. Now different players perform differently and have in some cases a very varied stats, quite huge differentials between these different surfaces. You can also consider altitude. For example, Bogota and Madrid do favour big servers due to thin air. Now yes, that is actually a thing. Also whether the tournament's indoor and outdoor, again, this can have quite an effect on the players. And prize money, which I touched on earlier. So how motivated are the players in the match that you've picked out? How motivated are they in a smaller tournament? So have a look at their earnings. You know, if they've had very high earnings and the tournament doesn't offer very high winnings, you know, realistically, how motivated are they to actually progress in the tournament? So you can find out their prize money easily at atptour.com, Tennis Abstract. There's quite a few websites to find that out. And career titles, again, this comes down to how motivated they are. So, you know, are they chasing their first career title, particularly in a Grand Slam? You know, if they haven't really progressed very far in Grand Slams, just consider how motivated they are depending on how many career titles they actually have. And also, to do with this, you know, consider their nerves in late rounds of larger tournaments, if of course they haven't had much progression in other previous tournaments, and particularly in Grand Slams. Nerves always plays a big part for a lot of players in these bigger tournaments. And age. So how hungry are they? Again, this is linked to how motivated they are. Young players are, you know, generally a bit more motivated to progress further in these tournaments, particularly if they're low ranked players. You know, they want to improve their rankings. So you might see a bit more motivation from these younger players, rather than a couple of older players may just be turning up to possibly pocket a bit of money. But realistically, how far are they going to progress in the tournaments? And also age is a consideration in terms of the heat and altitude, because of course age, in not all scenarios, but in a lot, is linked to their fitness and stamina. Country of origin. So were they born in a hot country? Are they used to playing in hot weather? Are they playing on home turf or hostile turf? Consider some nationalities, you know, turning up to some tournaments. This does have an effect on some players. And public money influence. So sometimes the price can be skewed if they are popular. For example, if a player is priced too low, you know, because they're popular, for example, home favourites or former Grand Slam champions. So public money influence can have an effect on the pricing. So just consider this when you are trading these types of players and you're looking at the betting prices. It may be slightly skewed by this. And coaching changes. So has a player recently hired a new coach? Now, this does happen more often with some players rather than others. Very often, this does lead to a form spike, but of course, it can, in some situations, go the other way. But just need to be aware if a coaching change has taken place. And then off-court distractions. Now, tennis is a very psychological game, so anything that's going on off-court will undoubtedly have an effect on their performance. So you're looking at divorces, personal scandals. So you can easily just find these on social media posts, and these will give clues to what's going on, or even just Googling their names. Now, this is more to do with the higher ranked players, which obviously have much more public exposure. So there you have some food for thought to add into your tennis trading pre-match analysis. Now remember, this is an addition to the head-to-head research that is also very essential, but these considerations will give you an edge in choosing the best matches to trade. Now, if you would like to begin your journey into tennis trading, you can of course do at protennistrader.teachable.com, where I offer the full package to get you up and running as a professional tennis trader. You can start off with my free video course, a free introduction into tennis trading. If you would like to join the complete one, that provides absolutely everything you need and also includes a month of platinum traders. Now, I am also a Forex trader, and I offer the one Forex strategy on my website. And of course, please do follow me on YouTube, Pro Tennis Trader, where you can find loads of trading videos, in-play analysis, trading psychology, and a lot more. Until the next time, good luck with your trading, and I'll speak to you soon.